Hello. Okay, so this is our last video that we are going to be making, or that we made. And it was going to be like a 7-day thing, and Sunday we had a bunch of ideas that we were working on, but ultimately we came up with the idea of wrapping things up on a more positive note, because we all recognize that this is kind of it's a very rough time for everyone, and this virus is out of control and doing a lot of damage to a lot of things, but we thought it'd be kind of fun to tie things up on a more positive note. And so Sydney, Tori, and I are all gonna be expressing the kind of silver linings of quarantine through all of the muddy water that COVID-19 is. So initially I would just like to address that the three of us we acknowledge our privilege, and we are very grateful that we have homes and are, for the most part, financially stable enough to stay home. I'm working, but I'm not in dire need like a lot of people I know are, and also that not everyone is in a safe home, and there are a lot of people out there stuck in homes that are toxic and possibly dangerous. And we would just like to hold space for you guys, or for those who are struggling through that. But on a brighter note, some things that I have experienced that are kind of the better part of this. I have reconnected with a lot of my old friends, specifically one who we had this big falling out last year, and spending all this time in quarantine made us reflect a lot on that, and we have reconnected and are stronger than ever and whatever. And not only friends, but I have also FaceTimed a lot of my family who lives across the country that I see in person maybe once every decade, which has been really cool and fun. And also cooking. I know people are doing a lot of deliveries, but my dad and I have spent a lot of time cooking and trying new recipes, which has been really fun. Not only cooking, but we have cleaned the house, and I've spent a lot of time reorganizing my room, because the beginning of this was my spring break, and so I didn't have any school to do, so I just reorganized the living hell out of my room, and it was fun, and I feel clean, which is good. And I also have spent more time expressing my creativity, so I started getting into singing a lot more, and playing my ukulele, and also doing some fun art. I can't draw, but I'm pretty good at lettering, so I've gotten into that quite a bit more, and I know a lot of people have been dancing or singing or been painting a lot more, and also, yes, TikTok. People have been expressing themselves through lots of different social media platforms, and just trying to keep everything light and comical, just to have that comic relief. And one of my favorite parts about this is not having to commute, because school commute was probably one of the bigger pains in my asses. And I don't have to spend money for a bus pass, or paying in the parking garage, which was ridiculously expensive, so I'm saving money on that. And I know a lot of other people that have over hour-long commutes, and they no longer have to do that, which is nice. And we know that there's a lot of bad things through this corona stuff, but we just wanted to focus more on the positives. So Sydney and Tori are going to talk more about their personal, like, happy things that are going on. Just to start things out with.
So since we've been staying home with coronavirus, self-quarantine has given a lot of people more time on their hands than they normally would have in non-quarantine. As for me, I usually commute 1 hour each way from where I live to the school that I go to, and originally I was supposed to be commuting to my school at around 7 or 8 a.m. and then I wouldn't actually be home until about 10 p.m. at night for Mondays and Wednesdays. But because school has moved to online, I have been able to avoid a commute and avoid having to use public transit during dark, and so that's been a positive. And also just the amount of time that I have access to doing my homework and finishing projects that I normally wouldn't have the time or access to complete, which has been really helpful because a lot of teachers have been easier to access, and they've been just more helpful with the transition because it's a big transition for a lot of people. Another positive is that I've been able to spend a little bit more time taking care of myself and taking care of just my environment and where I'm at right now. So I've been able to spend more time doing art, focusing on music, and just figuring out my kind of plan or direction in life, and just kind of spend some time thinking and focusing on just making myself better from this experience. So quarantine has been rough for a lot of people, but there are some silver linings that have made it just that much more better, and this unique opportunity that we can take the time to kind of focus on like ourselves and just make sure that we're taking care of us. So, and it's nice because we're all staying home so that we can reduce the spread of COVID, but while we're at home, we have been turning to stuff that's kind of just keeping ourselves preoccupied and just like away from stuff. So I've been doing a lot of art, where I've been painting. I did a puzzle. Those are those diamond dots where it's just like a color by number. I've been taking the time to use like leftover photos of people that like friends and stuff. And that's also nice because of all the benefits that have been happening with the reduced transit, the reduced carbon emissions. People have been able to just kind of budget themselves. People have been able to take care of themselves more. I know that the increased family time has been good, and yeah, so all of those opportunities to just kind of take care of myself, take care of my family, take care of my room, my schools, and it's definitely given me an opportunity that I won't forget, and I will take advantage of.
Hey guys, so overall the quarantine, I think one of the biggest like benefits or silver linings of it all was just the overall connection I've remade with my family. We were already pretty close, and I mean family dinners every night, movie nights, all that, but because we're all spending so much time together, we get to know each other a little bit better. We tested each other's boundaries and relearned those ones, but then we also spread it out and then checked in with my grandma a lot more, connected with my aunt and uncle a lot more. It's just a whole lot more connection with the family than what we used to have. And then outside of that, I mean, for me personally, I've been developing a whole lot of other skills. I mean, I made soap, which I never thought I would do before. I've been reading a lot more. I've been making like the little bracelets a lot more. It's just a lot more time has been spent on developing my own skills, my own hobbies, and all of that because I have nothing else to do essentially. So while it is kind of awful and I wish it wasn't happening, there's a little bit of a silver lining to look forward to. And when we all come out of it, we'll probably, hopefully come out as better people. You know, maybe, if it ever ends, but who knows, just gotta keep smiling through it all, because yeehaw, we're doing great. So one of the best things that come out of this quarantine, hold on. Itty bitty baby. Whee! Itty bitty baby! We don't have a name for him yet, but since we're all home, Dad figured it's a good time to get one because we can raise him all together. Instead of being spread out with work and school and everything. So, this is the newest addition. And I think it's my favorite part of this quarantine. And he's about to fall, so